Hey guys, Merry Christmas, Happy Yule, Happy Saturnalia, Hanukkah, whatever it is that you are celebrating, happy holidays. And today's the Christmas episode. So I want to tell you guys a little bit about what y'all can be expecting from me in the future over the next year, what I'm up to magically, what I plan to be putting out, things like that. So for the month of January, we actually have a lot of Kickstarter decks should be coming in within the next month and a half. So get ready for 4 tarot deck unboxings from Kickstarter to be coming in soon. These are decks that have been on hold for the last year. They have been stuck in customs or stuck on barges in the middle of the ocean, things like that. And it's just culminating together to where like all 4 of them are coming in at the same time, it seems. So I'm going to say over the next month and a half, but I should be getting them within the next 2 to 3 weeks. So I'm excited. I've also been waiting on one of them for over a year, but it's only 5 months late from its due date, so not too bad. I have also noticed that my upcoming tarot releases videos get lots of views. I was only planning on doing them biannually, every 6 months, but I've noticed that everybody loves them so much, I plan on doing them every 4 months, because you can't do them every month. It's just impossible. So you guys can be expecting those, because y'all love them, so yay. I'm also going to be keeping track of I'm gonna try to keep track of like new magic books that are coming out. I have found that the newer magic books are definitely hitting a bit different than the old ones are. There are a lot of citing of sources, and I love that. So it seems like I'm really enjoying what Llewellyn has been putting out the last few years. So I will continue to try to find new books and keep myself apprised of new books that are coming out, because y'all definitely seem to really appreciate reviews of those as well. So I will try to keep on top of that. Yes, so as far as books go, I actually have the new book by Aidan Wachter, Changeling, but it's literally next to my pillow because I fell asleep reading it last night. And I also have the next book in Devin Hunter's Witches book series. So, the Witches Book of Spirits. I will say, though, in my magical practice, I've had to put this on pause because I'm going through some things. So basically, I have been trying to do trauma therapy and all that. I've been in trauma therapy for 2 years with an amazing EMDR specialist. She was one of the best therapists I've ever had, and she really understood trauma on a level. Worked with her for 2 years. But my day-to-day life hasn't improved much. I still have a lot of executive dysfunction, lack of motivation, and just general bleh. Right? Like, my house is always messy. My mother has ADHD. Guess where I get it from? So it's crazy to me that like I always live in clutter. None of the organization systems that I create work in the long term, and I just can't seem to keep a schedule. Worst of all, I don't seem to be able to keep a cleaning schedule either. And as you guys can tell, if you've been following my channel for any length of time, there's no rhyme or reason to when I'm going to post a video. You can't predict when I'm going to get my shit together and do something. I can't either. And I thought it was because a lot of my trauma comes from before the age of 5, right? And I have been obsessed with fixing what's been broken, blah, 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 and not realizing that maybe there's another reason why I do these things, and that maybe it's not because I have PTSD, maybe it's because I'm neurodivergent, because it runs in my family. My mother has ADD. My younger brother has ADHD with developmental delays. My mother's sister has developmental delays and gigantism. She's one of very few people in the state of Alabama who have gigantism, and they said she wouldn't live to see her 20s. Well, she is 50 now, so suck that. I also have a great aunt who is autistic, and she has to live in a home because sometimes she gets violent. But yeah, so that shit runs in my family, and I don't know why I never considered it. I guess I just, you know, because the people in my family who are neurodivergent, they are to a degree that it is noticeable. And I never realized that you could be neurodivergent without realizing it. Like, I just thought, like, oh, you would know that. You would know that. No, apparently not, because I don't know what normal is, remember? I grew up in dysfunction. And apparently it's not normal to know how to read before you start school, and it's also not normal to be reading chapter books and like Goosebumps novels in the first grade by yourself. Yes, I have been reading on a college level since I was in the 4th grade. They tested me, and I was like a collegiate reading level. I got a little, like, a letter in the mail from the school and all of that. And they kept trying to make me do the AR tests, which is like, you know, you read a book, you take a test, you get points, you can get prizes at the end. And the librarian kept telling me, oh, you should read that. You should read an AR book. It's in an AR book. I'm like, those AR books are stupid. And she looked at me and I was like, they are so trivial and childish. And she was like offended at me. But at the same time, looking at the books that I would check out, they were very adult books. And once I got a library card, I started reading Anne Rice novels in middle school. Could nobody say shit to me? So yeah, apparently that's not normal. I have very fond memories of things that I do. I've always been very mature for my age, probably because of the trauma, but also like I enjoy a challenge. So like if I'm reading something and it's too easy, or if I can guess the plot, or if it was actually made for someone my age, it did not entertain me. So there's that. There's the fact that I can't keep a schedule to save my life. But I will say, being the odd duck that I am, I love to make lists. I love lists. If I can make something into a list, I can get it done. So, this little thing has been such a lifesaver, because here I have my morning and evening routines, and you can actually fold this back without this coming off. Like, you know, like you get the really cheap ones and like this will fall off the moment you fold it backward. No, it stays on and it stays beautiful. And I can tear pages out of here and keep using it, and this one will still always fold back perfectly over and won't fall off the back. I love quality materials. Anyway, it's Christmas, so I don't have a list, but building a morning routine was easier for me than building an evening routine, so I'm starting with the morning routine. First 2 things, medicine and feed cats. Already did that. So really all I did was just tack on washing my face in the mornings, light meditation in the morning, which I've been meaning to get back on a meditation routine, and then plan day and make checklist, because usually I do that the night before as well. So sometimes I add more things in the morning. And so literally what I did was I took things that I did at some point in my morning and just jammed them together so that I'm doing them all at once first thing, and that was easy. The before bed routine was a lot harder because I'm used to just getting in bed and just reading until I fall asleep, and I've made that part of the routine. Right, so literally light reading before bed, Reiki on self, those are what I usually always do, right? But these are kind of more like I can sometimes be bad about taking birth control on a regular hourly schedule. I'll take it every day, but it'll be completely different hours. So this should help with that. Washing my face and brushing my teeth. I will skip days of washing my face, which I can do because I look pretty alright, but I get some things pop up that I'd rather not pop up. So wash my face every day. Yeah, so that's how I'm starting, right? I will eventually move on to a weekly routine, which I have something for that too. Where is it? Yes, I love home goods. So, as you can see, there's really nothing on there except for here. So, on a weekly basis, I will have a magical goal, right? And then I will have my casual reading book, because I like to have a magical, like, even if they're all on magical subjects, I like to have a book that I'm reading that I'm studying reading, and then I like to have a book that I'm reading that I'm just casually reading and going, yes, indubitably, yes. And then one that I'm like, oh, take notes, incorporate that, highlight that, and that can be a little draining to read right before bed. Whereas a nice casual reading book, like whenever I find a book that I really enjoy that I thought I was going to study, but it ends up being a more of a casual read because it just makes more sense more immediately. I don't have to study it. It's just absorbing so nicely. I put that into a different category because there's different reading styles, right? Like you don't just read a book. Sometimes you read a book, and sometimes you you enjoy a book. Whenever I'm reading a book, I don't always, if I'm having a stressful day, I don't want to read a book. I want to enjoy a book. And those are two very different things, distinctions. So yeah, I'm starting on a weekly schedule, and we will see how those go. And I will put out videos on a weekly basis. So I'm thinking that Tuesdays are probably going to be good days for that, but we will see what we will see as far as that goes. But within the next month, I will have a dedicated YouTube day for y'all and hopefully get everything situated. So that's what's going on in my life. If you stuck around for all of the personal little tidbits, thanks. I really appreciate that you guys care about me and what I have to say and the things I have to share and what I've learned in my life. And it's really nice. I've come across a few channels similar to mine that have way fewer views, and they've been doing it as long as I have. And I'm like, wow, like I must be doing something different or something right, because nothing has made me feel, because I was starting to think that like, oh yeah, this is just a little hobby, but I have like, what is it, 100 and something subscribers now? That's a big deal to me. That's a really big deal to me. And actually I think it's more than that. It's a lot. I remember looking at it being like, oh my god, that's a lot. So anyway, I appreciate you guys. Thank you. And I want to do better by you guys. Right? So anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and even if you didn't stick around to the end, I made sure that I blew through all the important stuff at the beginning and saved my rambling for the end. So until next time, happy holidays and happy dabbling. Bye-bye.